Okay, we're live. Hello, everybody.
Hi,
So
everybody.
we're back. It's been, I will say, maybe a week that haven't been around, and I'll let you know real quick, friends and family that are looking at this show, Facebook Live show. We're with After Hours Real Estate today, and basically we talk about lending and real estate topics in our community area, okay, which is the Rio Grande Valley. Okay, so today we have a special guest, which I'm so excited to have and so thankful. We have Corina Backer with Eustis Mortgage. Okay, it used to be called Finance
Finance from America.
Finance Home America. So you know Finance Home America. So then don't be asking questions. Who is us? This is the same thing. They just changed the name. You know them. You have closed with them. Okay.
Yes.
So today we're gonna be talking about the question that we received every day. I will say interest rates. Right. That's gonna be what is happening with the interest rate. And the second question, which is also they ask that question very often is why do I need a loan estimate? Okay, why? Okay, so then we have a lot of buyers right now basically coming back into the market. They've been waiting a little bit, right? Once they
Yes.
feel more comfortable, right? And now that we have lower interest rates, we start seeing a lot of movement. So then this is the right moment for you to ask questions. So we have our expert, which is Corina Backer, with us today here. She's the branch manager of Eustis Mortgage, and she's going to be talking a little bit about loan estimates.
Yes.
So tell us, Corina. First of all, thank you for being here. Really
You're very
appreciate
welcome. You're
it.
very, very welcome.
So tell us a little bit in your experience. What is it that you see, or why is it important, right, to do loan estimate?
Yes. So this is actually very important to me. I've been in this industry for 20 plus years. I've seen the market go up and down, and everybody tells me, well, why are the rates abnormally high? Actually, they are a little higher than normal, but it was abnormal when the rates were as low as the twos. That was out of the ordinary. And we were just so used to that. But you all knew what was going on in the world and the communities. And so, there was that adjustment. And then, houses went up. We were having a little bit of difficulties at the time with appraisals. And it's just, markets are constantly shifting. So my biggest thing is we're always saying adjust and pivot, adjust and pivot. And
I
they did
love
go up. I mean, the rates had, they were peaking. We almost hit the sevens, and then thank God we had a little bit of a relief recently where the rates went back down. And the FHA MIP, the mortgage insurance premium, they just decided to give the clients a break on that premium. So even with the rates just being where they're at right now, they actually made it a little bit more affordable to get an FHA loan for anybody that's buying a primary home. So that's great. But back to your question. You asked, why is it so important to get a loan estimate? I say because it's very important to shop around. Everybody that is looking for a home, they're really particular. I'm sure that with you, Iris, they ask you to see many homes, and they're being very picky with the house that they choose. Well, it's the same thing with the loan. I think that they should have the mentality of being very picky. Why? Because most mortgage companies, if not all, can do an FHA loan. Okay.
Yes.
They're the same loan requirements, same, you have to have a certain credit score, and you have to have, the same 2 years employment and stuff like that. But the difference is in the rate and is in the fees. So
Yes.
you need to look at a rate like you're shopping at a boutique. You look at the dress, you like the dress, and you look at the price tag. Across the street, same dress, different price tag.
Yes.
So those price tags can cost you money if you do not shop. Now, one of the biggest worries that some of the clients get is they're like, well, I don't want my credit to be checked multiple times. I don't want my credit score to drop. But if there is a website, a link that I can send to you where it's for the consumer, and it tells them you you are allowed to shop around. And because of that, the credit bureaus will freeze your credit score so that you can shop around. So every mortgage company that you apply with within 30 to 45 days gets the exact same score and the exact same report. So
Mm.
that way you can compare apples to apples.
Yes.
And that's very important. Now, if if a mortgage company tells you, well, I can't give you a loan estimate unless you apply. Some companies are required to do that, some aren't. I'm not. I can actually give you a loan estimate without you even applying.
Oh, that
I'm
is very good
very,
to know,
I,
Corina.
yes, I'm very proud of what we offer.
Yes.
Our fees are not as high as most, and we keep our rates low. So we know what we do as a company to
Mhm.
keep it low and affordable. But it's always important so that way you can see, okay, mortgage A gives me an FHA, and this is the interest rate, and this is how much I need to come into closing with. And
Mhm.
mortgage B, same loan amount. This is the rate they offer, and this is how much I need to come into closing with.
Okay.
Difference is each mortgage company, like I said, has a different fee, but
Mm.
sometimes that rate also comes with its own fee, and it's called a discount point.
Mm.
So that a lot of times isn't disclosed until you know how much you need to bring into the table, and that alone can save you thousands of dollars
I see.
because there's some companies that their rates come with like a hefty discount point.
Mm.
2% of 200,000,
Mhm.
that's that versus 1% of 200,000, that's a $2,000 difference right there off the bat you
Okay.
know so it's very important. It's very important. You pick up the phone. It takes 10 to 15 minutes to call different companies, and like I said, compare them. Be picky with who you choose.
Mhm.
Also look at reputation, right? You gotta look to see who you're working with. So
Very
I'm available for that. I work quite a bit. I work almost 24/7, 7 days a week. And I'll get back to you. And like I said, that you don't even have to apply. I can give you a loan estimate. But if you do, I can help you with even more details and get you that pre-approval right away. Mhm.
Okay, okay. So let me just I'm been taking notes while you've been talking. The way they can refer back, right, to all of the information that is been awesome, right? A lot of valuable and very good information for our buyers, because my goal, right, and your goal right now, and it's always been, is to educate our buyers to make the right decision, right? For me, it is very important for them to be happy at the end of the process of buying a home. I mean, I'm all about, VIP service, right, with them.
Yes.
And I know you are the same, right? So then for me, it's very important that they understand that they have options. I mean, I really, really, I don't feel comfortable when I notice that they believe that because I have my account with so and so bank, I mean, whatever bank, right? They're going to be like the best, they're going to be like the best option to lend me money. And it's
Right.
never the case, friends. I know that you're listening to me right now, not because you have your account with whatever bank for whatever many years, they're gonna be like the best option, okay, for
Right.
your loan. Now, what I personally always advise my clients is at least get two different options, right? At least, right? And obviously, you can choose your bank and you can choose a mortgage if you want, but make sure that like different points that Corina just mentioned right now. She said the difference is going to be the fees, right, and the rate. Okay, the rate, obviously the interest rate, and the fees of the origination, I mean lender fees. Okay.
Right. Mhm.
Okay, those are the two differences. Now, one very important thing that Corina just mentioned is you don't have to apply. A lot of people will probably ask you, you need to apply first in order for me to tell you what the fees are going to be.
Mhm.
So then be aware of those things, be a savvy buyer. And when someone is telling you, I cannot tell you until you apply, then maybe that will be kind of like
Red
a,
flag, yes. Or if you tell you, you can't, your credit's gonna get hurt if you apply anywhere else. That's also incorrect.
okay, also.
Um, the estimate that I give you, if you do not apply, the estimate that I give you will be based on what you tell me verbally, right? So if you tell me your credit score is a 700 and you tell me what the price is of the home and all that stuff, I enter it in and then I can tell you, what that would be, right? Once we
Right.
get the application, then we'll know more or less, okay, for you, for your particular situation, yes, your credit score was actually what you told me, then we honor that rate.
Yes, yes, definitely. You have to be also, I mean, faithful. I mean, like
Yes,
you say the truth. I mean, don't
right.
expect that they're not gonna find out. They are gonna find out, right? So then you're probably not gonna get it. So
Mhm.
then, but be savvy with lenders, right? That is, I guess, number one, and that is why it's so important to refresh our memories about the importance of loan estimates. Why should we do this, right? I get that question a lot, Corina. That I don't want to do that because are they gonna check my credit?
Yeah,
Right? So
that's not
no,
gonna matter. I can send you the link later. You can post it on the comments so
yes, yes,
that they can go in and read that. It's on a government website.
yes.
Another thing is that there's also several programs.
Mm-hmm.
So we at Eustis Mortgage, we do down payment assistance programs. We do the
Mm-hmm.
TSHAC, the TDHCA. We even have our own Eustis Mortgage. It's called a Seth program that we work on as well. So, one of the bigger things that I'm noticing lately is, especially at the beginning of the year, people are starting to get their income tax returns and
Yes,
want to use that for their down payment, but they're short the closing costs. Well, as a realtor, I'm sure you already know that some lenders will just say, well, you know what, you're going to need to ask for, I don't know, 8,000 in closing costs.
yes, for seller.
So
Yeah.
you're okay with that because you want your buyer to get this loan. But what if the seller gets a contract that instead of 8,000, it's 5,000, you know? That's a big difference. Why? Because our fees are lower.
Yeah.
Also, the program. So if we have a situation where maybe the seller doesn't want to pay the 5,000, maybe pay two, we can get them into a down payment assistance program as well that'll cover the down payment. And so the money that the client does have, they can use for the final closing. We've had it where they got both, down payment assistance and seller concession. So there's all kinds of different situations. It's all about communication. I love to keep in communication with the agents as well. I
Yes.
always tell the client this is teamwork, communication before you submit the file, excuse me, before you submit the offer, so we
Yes.
can find out what it's going to look like on paper, what you're going to need, Mr. Buyer, and
Yes.
what the realtor is going to submit on paper, what they're going to offer the seller. I
Yes.
also like to get really involved with the seller as well. So if you submit an offer and you carbon copy me, I'll pick up the phone and I'll just kind of tell the seller how strong the buyer is and, not to worry if we have them pre-approved with an underwriter already, because that's also something that we do. So if
Mm,
I pre-qualify somebody today, I say, Iris, he's
mm,
pre-qualified, he's ready to go. You can go show him this house and he's ready to make an offer. But if you want an actual underwriting approval letter, I can get that to you as well. If
That,
the buyer,
that's
of course, the buyer has to, send me his information, his
it.
pay stubs, and all his income information. But I can get an underwriter to review it to where all we need is the property and the title, and we can close this in 2 weeks.
Yes, that is amazing. I love that, right? Because not everybody is willing to go to the extra mile. Obviously, you are because you're already telling us here, we are live, everybody,
We're
right?
live. Keep me to my word. I'm telling you,
You
it
said
can be done.
so then this information is very very good because you know now how strong, right? Corina is helping you to place you in a stronger position for your offer to be able to be accepted, right? and
Yeah.
and like always, right, I always tell my buyers this. I mean, there's a lot of online lenders. I mean, we also deal with a lot with that, but my preference is always deal with someone local first, right? If you allow me to guide you as your real estate agent, my advice is use someone local because we have a lot of I mean, they don't know really the market and they work very different. Okay, when you are with out of the area lender, I've had lenders calling me and asking me what are the taxes. I'm like, what? Well, I mean, I don't do that. Like, what do you mean? What are the taxes, right? I mean, I know the base taxes. Like, I can give you that, but I mean,
Right.
and or they ask me something about how much is the insurance in your area, like the insurance. I don't deal with insurance here, right? Okay,
No.
so then it's important, okay? So for pay attention to that. Try to utilize your local talent, your local experts that they know the area and that they've been doing this for a while, okay? Trust them. So Corina is with Eustis Mortgage. Okay, you can find her all over social media. I just put her phone number in the comments, okay, for Corina, so you can call her, right, if you have any questions. Now, Corina, the last question that I have for you today is, how are you looking at the interest rates? I mean, in your own, I know that things change all the time, but in your own experience, right? I know that you've been doing this for a long time. What do you see now with the interest rates? We know that they lower, right? But we
Yes.
still do not know, does it, because the question that we get is, does it apply to all of us? So I always tell them no. I mean, it depends on your credit, right? I mean, we need to check your credit, your income, and so forth. So the clients that you've seen, right, recently, which is the lowest that you have been able, right, to qualify these buyers?
Well, it is different. It is a difficult question to answer, but with a buyer that's willing to pay, even a minimum of 1% discount point, the lowest I saw recently, and that's as recent as Friday, we offered a 5.75
Okay.
APR being, I
Mhm.
can't remember, six something. I can't remember the APR,
Yeah.
but because we have to quote the rate as well as the APR.
Mhm.
But someone with like a lower score, um, as an FHA loan, it's more or less like 7. And then somebody with the high score, I'm telling you, we're in the low sixes.
Yeah.
If they want to pay discount points, we can lower that more.
Mhm.
Yes, it does all depend. The rates are across the board. So there's a national average rate that you can look up.
Mhm.
And the national average, we're usually right below that. Again, it all depends on the program and the score and all that stuff. So you can't really hold me to that, but yes, you look at the average rates. And so if anybody's quoting, anything lower than that, there might be additional, because what they don't, the online banks, what they don't tell you is that, oh, well, this is with a 20% down, or this is this type of program, or, there's a 2-1 buy down. That's why this rate is at this, so you have to really dig in, and they try to hook you
Yes.
by taking your application and all that stuff. But either way, I mean, that's perfectly okay too, because that's still part of shopping. You
Exactly.
know,
It's part of
get
the
the
loan
get
estimate.
the worksheet, the breakdown, ask them the questions. Well, what's my interest rate? What's my APR? And how much do I need to bring to the table? Because that is going to tell you really what you're competing with, right? So I usually, ask them those questions.
Okay, and I'm just taking a note. And how much I need to bring to the table?
Right. Mhm. And
Okay.
does that rate come with a discount point? So the reason it's important to disclose the APR as well is because it's really difficult to explain APR. Okay. But what I
Mhm.
tell clients is that when you find out what the APR, if it's like a ridiculous difference, like if I'm quoting you a 6, but the APR is like a 6.8 or something like that, that means that there's a lot of fees involved, because it's just kind of like it comes with the finance charges is basically what it is.
Mhm.
So, I always say the closer it is to the rate, then you're probably getting a pretty good deal because you're
Yeah.
not charged too many fees.
Yeah, so then the three questions also to remember. I mean, if something that you learned today not only is to get a loan estimate, but three important questions to ask. I mean, she already gave us, I mean, all these golden nuggets, which is, what is my interest rate? What is my APR? And how much money I need to bring to the table, right? And another thing that I always tell them, Corina, is, come on, ask how much is going to be your monthly payment. I mean, don't,
Very important.
yes,
Very important.
monthly payment, because I've had a lot of buyers who are we looking, I'm just gonna give an example, right? Whatever numbers. We're looking at a 350 home, but once they know that their payment is gonna be close to whatever, 25, 28, 3,000, they tell me, well, I do qualify for 375, but I do not wanna be in the
Mhm.
2,800 payment. And then I tell them, well, now we need you to ask your lender, right? What is the monthly payment that you want to be at? And then we will know what is the price of the home that you should be looking at. It may
Right.
be 299. So there's no point to be looking at 350, right? As of right now.
That is exactly the situation I actually just had today.
Yes.
Same exact, and it's coincidentally the same amount as 350. And so I have it fresh in my head. So exactly, he really liked this house for 350,000, and we went through the whole scenario. And he was really well educated, so he knew that he needed to get pre-approved first. And he's like, I just want to know, what's the best you can give me, and I want to know what the payment is, because the payment will tell me if I'm going to make an offer on this house or not. So
Yes.
I always tell everybody, always know how much you're going to need to bring to the table, and not just the rate, but also what are your monthly payments, and are you comfortable with that? And of
Yes.
course, lenders, we don't lend more than what really they can borrow, because that's the whole point of checking the debt to income and stuff like that, just to make sure that they're going to be able to afford the payment on paper. But only in your head if that's something that you're going to be comfortable with on a monthly basis.
Exactly. And that's what I tell them. Come on. Like, I keep repeating, make myself, like, don't ask me right now, or don't tell me right now that this payment is too high and I don't feel comfortable. And another thing that we as realtors see, once they saw properties at 350, and now I need to bring them down to properties of 299, the difference is huge. So what we see is, I don't like it anymore, so I'm not going to buy. I'm going to wait, right, until I'm able to make more money, and then I call you next year. No, no, that's not the point. The point is for you to be able to buy what it is that you feel comfortable now as your starter home, because you will build equity, right? And then in a year, 2, 3, who knows, right? You'll be able to go into an upgrade, right? But you already built equity. You can keep it as a rental, you can resell it and buy a bigger one, right?
Yep.
Not to stay renting. And the idea is not for you to continue renting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Corina, thank you
Yeah.
so much. You
Thank
were wonderful.
you.
What
Thank
do
you
you
so
think,
much for having
everybody?
me.
It was great, right? We like Corina.
Yes.
So, so if you have any questions, Corina Backer, okay, is with Eustis Mortgage.
Eustis
And
Mortgage. I
Eustis
know it's hard to
Mortgage,
pronounce.
and it's in, you're in Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
Okay, so you can find her all social media. The information is there on the comments. Okay, her cell phone number, the email, so you know where to find her. If you have any questions, let us know. This is Sosa-Heredia with Homes by Iris and Momentum Realty. So thank you so much for
You're
being.
the best, Iris. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Bye.
Bye.